What's up, y'all? Welcome to Flames Reaction Channel. So today's video, I'm getting ready to react Busta Rhymes. And with that being said, y'all, make sure you hit that like, comment, and that subscribe button. And let's go ahead and dig into this video and check out some of the best of Busta Rhymes and his greatest moments of hip hop.
Tomorrow is never promised, and it's like you don't never know when the opportunity for this blessed energy is gonna come around again.
Before Busta Rhymes would become one of the most popular rappers of the 90s with hits like It's a Party, Dangerous, and Give Me Some Mo.
Before Busta Rhymes would drop his newest album, Extinction Level Event 2, The Wrath of God.
Before Busta Rhymes would shed a huge amount of body fat during lockdown and is now looking totally fit. Because for a while there,
he was definitely, it's like the off season. Yeah, it's the off season.
It was like Bubba Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes is an OG legend when it comes to the rap game. This Brooklyn-born rapper and record producer has been making waves in the music scene since the late 80s, spitting that mad type of rapid-fire flow that will give even Eminem a run for his money.
After the recent release of his new studio album, Extinction Level Event 2, The Wrath of God, a sequel to his 1988 album, ELE, The Final World Front, well, Busta, he's dropped 10 studio albums on us over the span of 24 years. And boy, is a title like that ever appropriate for a world we're living in today.
Yeah. Busta has come a long way from his early days as founder of the group Leaders of the New School to being one of the go-to featured artists of the hip-hop boom of the 90s. With a career as lengthy as his own, it's bound to be marked by ups and downs, and Busta has had his fair share of his wins and losses. There have been run-ins with the law and a recent hiatus that lasted up until his most recent album drop. But no matter what, Busta always manages to show back up in our lives once again.
And he's always looking like a different guy.
Yeah, he really jacks up.
Kudos to him. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Michael McCrudden.
And I'm Marlon Palmer.
And as you may have noticed, I've been getting some help on this channel because I feel like Busta. I've been doing this for a long time.
You've been in it for a minute.
So Marlon's taking over this video. I'm getting out of here. I got to get my walking cane.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Go get your pills. Get some naps. Get some sleep.
Oh, man.
What's poppin', guys? And like we said, we are here with the life and career of Busta Rhymes, here for you on Before They're Famous. A few of the recent drops on this channel is rapper Dookie and an update on Metro Boomin. All right, let's get into the story.
Hey, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom!
Busta Rhymes was born Trevor George Smith Jr. on May 20th, 1972 in Brooklyn, New York. His parents, named Geraldine and Trevor Sr., were immigrants from Jamaica, and they raised their son in the neighborhood of East Flatbush. As a teenager, Busta attended George Westinghouse High School, located in downtown Brooklyn, a school with a pretty prolific alumni list, including greats like Jay-Z, DMX, and the notorious B.I.G.
We see you bounce and say what? You ain't even got no kind of line of credit in the hood from.
It's even a place that Busta has returned to time and time again after achieving his fame, so as to give back in the best way he possibly can, by educating the youth.
Don't get disrespectful, man. Don't play with me. Oh, I'm not no young little for real. Right? Respect me, because I'm respecting everybody here. I ain't gotta be here, dude. Don't disrespect me.
Unfortunately for Busta, his parents split up when he was still quite young. He moved with his mom to the town of Uniondale in Long Island, but his dad stayed behind in Brooklyn. And while you can take the boy out of the city, well, you can never really take the city out of the boy. Being a native New Yorker, Busta had the privilege to witness hip-hop's formative years firsthand, and when he was still just a kid. Musical acts like Cold Crush Brothers and the Force MDs, Busta actually got to see live and in person as they rap battled one another on the streets of New York. This instilled a passion for music in him that's still burning bright inside him to this very day. It was thanks to those influences that Busta worked his ass off to become the superstar he would turn into. It didn't even matter that he wasn't living in New York anymore. Even from Uniondale, Busta found a way to network, meeting up with other rappers like Charlie Brown, Dinko D, and Comp Monitor Milo, who in 1989 he would go from Leaders of the New School with. The group was signed with Elektra Records, and their debut album was titled Future Without a Past, which dropped in 1991. Unfortunately, by 1993, the group was no more.
Well, me and Leaders wasn't getting along from before the first album. We broke up before the first Leaders album came out. That's why if you go on the first Leaders album, you hear Too Much on My Mind. I don't got a verse on it.
Alone and without a group, Busta was faced with the proposition of having to make it in the cutthroat music industry on his own. Thankfully, he was more than up to the task. He found himself a few features on a Tribe Called Quest song, Scenario, And now the legendary remix, Flavor in the Air, featuring Craig Mack, LL Cool J, and Biggie Smalls. By 1996, Busta had enough cred to drop his own debut solo album, The Coming, which featured some hit tracks like Woo-Ha! And It's a Party. Around that time is when Busta also created his own label, calling it Flip Mode at first, but it would later be renamed to the Conglomerate in 2011. Over the next handful of years, Busta would drop album after album, basically releasing one a year until 2002 when he unleashed It Ain't Safe No More. All of his albums up until that one went platinum, but after It Ain't Safe, his album sales began to decline a bit, and a new Busta album would only appear every 3 to 4 years until his recent near-decade-long hiatus. Now that he wasn't making music as regularly as he was before, the early 2000s was when Busta Rhymes decided to diversify his career and become an actor.
Stay the out of movies! Who the hell told you could act?
He had dabbled previously with the art in the 90s with films like Higher Learning and providing the voice to the Rugrats movie. But in films like Finding Forrester, Narc, and Halloween Resurrection is where Busta really tried to leave his mark as an actor.
Happy Halloween!
To be honest, it never really happened for him. By 2004, he was lending his voice to the video game Def Jam Fight for New York, and he signed with Dr. Dre's Aftermath Records, releasing The Big Bang in 2006. That album would sell well enough to go gold, but wouldn't reach the heights of his early work. Then came 2006 when the rapper was arrested for attacking a man who allegedly spit on his vehicle while driving around in New York City. Charges were filed after the police found a machine inside Busta's car. I assume he tried to pass it off as a movie prop that he stole from a set of Halloween, but my guess is the cops weren't really buying it. About a year later, there would be a subsequent arrest after a fight between the MC and his former driver. Busta pleaded guilty to that incident and was sentenced to 3 years probation, as well as anger management courses. Later that same year, he was arrested once more for driving without a license. By 2009, he was ready for his comeback, dropping Back on My BS. But the album would receive mixed reviews and sold to extremely low numbers, especially when compared to Busta's early work. A few years later, he tried to make a comeback again with Year of the Dragon, but the release of that album was really bungled. It was originally dropped on Google Play and received minimal attention from fans and critics. These days, it's pretty hard to find the album on any reputable streaming platform. Since the release of that album, Busta has kept a pretty low profile. He's appeared in a few television series, usually as himself, and he's remained engaged with his fans across social media. He's also been putting in the work again in more ways than one. First, there was the news that he had totally reinvented his physique during worldwide quarantine. And then this week, he dropped his first album in close to 8 years, Extinction Level Event 2, The Wrath of God, which critics seem to think is a return to form for Busta, even if its length at 22 tracks can start to drag a little by the end. But I mean, come on, guys. The man hasn't released music in close to a decade. Let him breathe a little. As for the rest of Busta's story, well, I think we're going to have to end this video here. After all, this is before they're famous. My name is Marlon Palmer. Thank you guys so much.
All right, y'all. That's it for this video, and I'm out. Peace.